Halloween is almost a month away, and I've realized I haven't watched a scary movie yet. Now that I'm older, I've grown to appreciate the genre considering the first examples I watched were Chucky and Scream. I was scrolling on TikTok one day, and one of my friends sent me Sade Sellers' post. Sade Sellers is a director and writer of the independent short film Picture. Essentially, Sellers talks about the cast, the synopsis, and those who worked on the film, along with asking us, the creators, to review the film before its global release on October 1st, 2025. I am going to give a spoiler warning just in case you want to watch this afterwards, as I like to talk about anything media related in depth. I just want to thank Sade Sellers for allowing me to be on the press release and to view her work. So, yeah, let's dive into Picture. It starts off with this vinyl record setting the mood as we walk into this very eerie antique store with all the creepy little dolls and this monkey right here. We're then introduced to our main character, Britt. She's just doing some simple window shopping, looking around the store, seeing what's here. And then she notices her friend playing this video game. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't think she ever says this boy's name in this entire film, as I have watched this multiple times. So we're going to call him No Name from SpongeBob. So Britt and No Name are playing this old video game, and we see in the back as the camera zooms in that this man is clearly trying to sell this camera. And he's giving some sketchy vibes because this lady is not buying what he's selling. And then randomly he takes a picture of her, put him on the list. So then we see No Name has clearly lost Britt in this huge store. So No Name is clearly not getting up fast enough for me in this movie, and we will notice my gripe with No Name a lot, so just be prepared. So he's looking around for Brett, again, moving as slow as a turtle. He's looking around. I guess he didn't get a chance to do any window shopping when him and Brett first walked in. So he's looking all through the nooks and crannies to figure out where his friend went. And once again, as we can see right here, just not enough urgency. Find your friend, mister. He then goes in this very dark red room and tries to find her through the curtains just to easily get scared by this rabbit looking doll right here that scares the ever loving life out of him. Britt appears from the shadows. Then a scared No Name tells Britt that he's gonna dip and see her later. Anyways, we see Britt go up to the counter and we are fully introduced to the sketchy man with No Name. She curiously asks why is the camera so important and why he wants to get rid of it. He gives a very big excuse about the significance of the camera and is kind of just telling her, oh, it's just an old camera. Nobody really wants it. Boo hoo, woes me. And then he's like, hey, do you want to see how the camera works? And she's like, sure, because probably she's never seen a Polaroid camera in her life. And so he then takes a picture of her, and Britt is so uncomfortable by this. Very interesting choice that this man just made here. So after this very awkward interaction, Brett tries to change the subject and just like, oh wow, this camera's kind of cool. And then the sketchy man with No Name says, you know what? How about you take it? It's a gift. It's on the house. And Brett clearly is not asking enough questions. She's like, oh, why do you want to give this camera to me? What? That's so weird. Why would you do this? Because it is weird. Why would you take a camera from a strange man you do not know? And he then tries to say, oh, the camera's real special, you should take it. And she's like, all right, cool. And that's it. She doesn't ask a single question about this camera. He does not care that he did this incredibly messed up thing to this girl. And then he closes the store. Like, that's it. We then see that Britt took the camera home and is flipping through some of the pictures. And something that I noticed during my first watch of this film was that some of Britt's facial expressions look terrified. Like she didn't want to take the pictures at all. But obviously, the bigger question in this is that there's a demonic figure in the background every time she takes a picture and it gets closer. So Britt calls up the man from the store and tells him that this camera is broken. She wants to know why there's the demonic figure in the back. He vaguely tells her,
listen to me. Just take a picture of someone else and it'll go away.
Mr.
But do it soon.
yeah, that man is not taking that camera back. I mean, I could have told you that, Britt. He clearly didn't want it in the first place. Demon squatter rights, I guess. Where they're getting a montage of all the pictures that Britt is taking. And I mean, she is stressing over this demon. Like, look at all these pictures that she took. Just stressed. So Britt calls up No Name to try and figure out what's going on. And she asks him to take a picture of her, which he does willingly so, but he's also not asking enough questions for me. He's trying to figure out what's up with the Polaroid, and then he finally asks what's going on. Britt tries to give more context to No Name about what's going on, and I'm gonna be honest with you, No Name's probably not the best person to call for this situation. He even asked her what exactly is getting closer, and she shows him the picture, but I know you saw that stack of photos. And yes, she snatched it out of your hand, but come on. Then we get this scene.
Every time I take a photo, it gets closer to me.
Then stop taking pictures.
Yeah, so like I said, No Name is just terrible at this. And then we get a scene where she's literally disappearing, and it finally clicks for No Name that this situation is much more serious than she says. Again, even with the pictures, even with her disappearing, No Name just has this lack of awareness and urgency when it comes to the situation. We only have 9 minutes, so we can't complain too much. But there's even a point where No Name literally says, "Oh yeah, that sucks." And that's literally the only thing he says until this scene.
So, how do we make it go away?
I'm sorry. I have to pass it on.
No, stop!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, I know that No Name's not the best person for this situation, but come on. She just takes a picture of him. Like, she could have took a picture of anybody else that could have been worth have a demon in the background of you, like a bully, or even the cops from Incredibles. Police officers! Or even the white man. Wait, why couldn't we do that again?
Okay, well, can I just bring it back?
No, it doesn't work that way.
You know what? I did say that. My bad.
Well, I guess not. But the thing is, this is her friend. Like, the ultimate betrayal makes this scene so hilarious with its pure shock and, oh, yeah, that sucks. But it was probably the only choice she felt like she had to do because this scene happens. Yo, look at this demon, bro. This picture doesn't even do him justice. I think the only person who was most scared was Britt because of how she was screaming. But yeah, that was Picture, everybody. I do think that this film does a great job with being able to showcase the horror elements of it. Again, we all know that horror is camp at the end of the day. And so I really do appreciate the styling of the way this film is shot. And given that we only had but a short amount of time to really emphasize the antagonists and the characters, like even the white sketchy man behind the counter was really good at his role. Again, I do think he was a little too eager taking this picture of this young girl, but you know, he has to play the part and so does she. And the fact that he didn't leave the country after closing the store kind of says a lot in this scene. I still think they should have pulled a Steve Lacy and just smashed the camera down on the ground and everything would have been fine. But yeah, I enjoyed watching this short film. And as I said in my comment on the YouTube page, plus the review on Letterboxd, this short film could easily make a really entertaining supernatural horror. The cast, even the skeptical looking white man, were really good in their roles. I also appreciate the use of cast and writers who haven't necessarily reached mainstream popularity yet, getting a chance to work on a film like this. It is a 60% women and 40% male led crew. It's predominantly black on top of that, and I really appreciated that these people took their time to make this short film for us. Given how horror is very camp, and it almost has this playful, sinister energy to it, it allows filmmakers to explore multiple stories to create a memorable film. As the genre does have some pretty high standards, as we see, but the more and more films that we get, like Get Out, and Nope, and Us, and a lot of others that I'm probably blanking on, but you know, black horror films are just so iconic. Like, these can be the examples that we get for short films like Picture. And I really appreciate that there is a way to tell this story in under 10 minutes and still make it fun and entertaining. So I just want to thank Sade Sellers for sending me the short film and to be on the lookout for Picture on their YouTube channel. I will post in the description. And honestly, I'm just going to let y'all watch some of the credits because I do think it's important for you guys to see everyone who created and was a participant of this film. So here you go. Oh, wait. I didn't do an introduction, so I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself, but here's a little mini intro about me.
Face, what you do if I just say it too.